Hello everybody and welcome back to Reach and Reverie. My name is Alex and today is the afternoon, Friday the 13th of September. And today, now that I got all my errands done, work is over, I'm gonna try to put a couple hours in here at the shop to see how far we can get. This week was kind of a huge surprise for me, but Josh had me in town working at the duplex after work all week, and I've been packing up, cleaning, organizing the duplex, getting ready for the big move, and he has been here working at the property after work every day this week. And he told me he didn't need help. He told me he was working on electrical and plumbing. I'm a very, very gullible person, and I believed him. So let me show you guys what he was really doing. And I think he said he was doing electrical and plumbing because he wanted to surprise me. So let's go take a look. So he said he was going to be working on plumbing. I see plumbing, that looks great. He did great. And then he said he was going to keep working on electrical. Electrical is working. We just have to put the lights in. That's right, so he surprised me by going ahead and insulating the ceiling, and right now he is putting the ceiling in by putting plywood OSB up and nailing those in. And what's really cool is he actually got that sheetrock lift from somebody who was selling it locally for only $100. So that was a steal to help make his life easier. And I had been planning all week to help him, and I kept thinking, we're supposed to be doing the insulation and the ceiling this week. I guess he's got a lot of plumbing and electrical to do, and I'm so gullible. But he was thinking, I'm not great with ladders, it's all overhead work, and so he was just being really sweet and getting that all knocked out for me. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna keep doing foam around the first layer all the way around the building. That way we can make sure we don't hit any electrical or plumbing before we put insulation into the walls. And when we were working on this foam with the screws last weekend, we were using the wrong size screw. We were using 3-inch screws, and so they were coming through the wall pretty far, which was a huge concern as far as hitting water lines or electric. So we did go and buy shorter screws this week, and I did spend one evening capping hundreds of screws. But now we're ready to go, and hopefully these will go in much shallower, so we shouldn't hit electrical or plumbing. But just to be safe, I'm gonna get this first round put in before we put insulation into the walls, because we don't want to cover up what we're doing and not see if we hit something. So one small frustration that I've run into so far screwing this first row in is I've noticed that the shorter screws have just a slightly smaller head to them, and so they're pulling through our little caps. So I'm trying to be really careful, and I'm kind of pushing in on the cap as I go. But we're trying to get at least the first row with these shorter screws, and then once we get past all the electrical, we'll start using the longer screws for the rest of the way so that our caps can stay in. So that's something to think about. We thought the caps were the same size. Didn't even notice that they had a slightly different head size there, but something to look into because they are pulling through our little caps. Another thing is our really beautiful fall weather that was here last week is gone. We are back up into the 90s this very warm September day. So I think the high today was like 95, which isn't too bad, but last week we were like the high of 70, 72, 73. So it feels pretty warm this week as we go. But you can see here where the cap has pulled through, or the nail went through the cap. We're now running out of daylight. You can see how far I have to go to get all the way around. We have the foam starting over there and it wraps around. So I still need to do this side. I'm coming from this way though. And I've gotten to that point so far and done the front. A couple things slowing me down are having to cut out little parts, cut to size certain parts. But I started today on this piece, so that's not too bad. I've also been helping Josh with measuring so that he can cut the plywood. We've been going up and down the ladders on the inside, measuring his cuts, and then I was helping him hold a couple pieces up while he nailed. So I've kind of been jumping back and forth between the outside and the inside this evening, and it's finally cooled down. It's got to be maybe, I don't know, it feels like low 80s, maybe upper 70s right now. So we've dropped at least 15 degrees since we got out here, which is just so refreshing. You can see that amazing view, and it doesn't even begin to convey what it looks like in person. It looks so beautiful. In other news, my sister and my brother-in-law are driving up from across Texas where they live, and they're going to be visiting us this weekend. They're actually going to be picking up 2 of my laying hens to take back home with them, and then we'll be taking our 4 elderly retired ladies hopefully out here to move in with us when we can. We are a little apprehensive. Josh saw a coyote on the neighbor's property just the other day in the middle of the day. We've seen foxes, lots of prints from raccoons, so we're kind of not sure how it's going to turn out. We're going to want to try to build a really secure coop for them, but I don't know if free ranging in the day is going to be an option without a completely enclosed run out here without any kind of like electric. But our budget right now is pretty much flooding into the shop build, so we will see what happens here. But my sister and her husband Rick are going to come up and pick up Flauta and Gordita, which are the 2 chickens that I have that are still laying. The rest of the girls are just really beautiful yard ornaments that know their names and are very personable and friendly old ladies that maybe lay, between the 4 of them, they may lay like an egg a month or 2 eggs a month, so not productive at all. Tomorrow, Josh is planning on putting this metal roofing up onto the shop, so we're pretty excited. We're moving and grooving along, and I can't wait to show you guys more. No matter how big her bed is, she always finds a way to sit off of it. Don't you, Evie? All right, well, we have worked really hard this evening. Josh got most of the ceiling done. We have one more piece to go in the corner of this living space. And then of course we still have the bathroom, but this is a great ending to today. We did lose the daylight, so I had to pause on foaming the outside. But once we get the first layer of the outside foamed, that's when we can start insulating and putting on the OSB on the inside in here. You can see where we're at this evening. These days getting shorter really are catching up with us. It's about 8:40 right now and completely dark. So we will see you in the morning and show you guys what we're up to then. Good morning, everybody. It is the next day and we have arrived here just before sunrise, and we are gonna try to get our metal roof put on. You can see it's just started lightening up over on that side of the mountain, and the sun will be up before we know it. So we're gonna try to get as much done before it gets hot. We are putting on metal roofing, so we wanted to do it in the morning instead of in the evening. That way it won't be quite as toasty handling that metal up there on the roof.
However, and then you just kind of feed it and walk it back so it shoots up.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
We're about to find out.
Because I don't even, if you can't do it, then I'm going to have to go up and down. But I also don't want to get you in a position where you're going to hurt yourself either.
Right, let me set my
So
phone down.
See
if we can do it.
Alright, keep coming. Keep coming. Alright, now start walking backwards and lifting up.
Do what?
Start, lift up. I'm almost there. Lift up. Come forward. Okay. Whew.
And then I should be able to help you from here.
Yeah.
Get my fingers under it. You got it? I can do it. Come check out the sunrise with us. So we weren't sure if I could lift these up, but I did. Man, that's gorgeous. I bet it's about to get better too.
I got the best view.
Yeah, he's got the best view. So how many inches over do you do it at the top, or are you doing it flush on the top?
Flush on the front.
Flush on the front.
Flush on the side.
Flush on the front and flush on the side. And then we have a little overhang on the back.
I have 2 inches for gutters.
2 inches for gutters. It's a beautiful day. It's a great day to be a great day. So I'm gonna put you guys up there for a better view. He's gonna get those screwed in, and then I'll get ready to grab our next piece. All right, so while he's working on that third piece, I thought I'd show you guys what he's doing a little bit closer. And look at that sunrise, it's coming up. So he's putting these closure strips in, which is going to help keep moisture out from under the roof. We are going to come back and put flashing as well to prevent any water from getting up under in there. It's like a little puzzle piece. And it looks really cloudy, but the high today is 90 or 91. So once that sun gets up, it's just gonna burn off all those clouds. It's kind of hazy this morning, really kind of like moist and humid, but I think that's just gonna make it feel a little hotter in a little bit when that sun really starts shining. So we're gonna put these closure strips underneath the lip and then on top, and then we'll cap it with metal flashing, and then we'll also put closure strips on the bottom edge as well. Get a squeeze through here. He'll also come back and put not metal flashing, he'll also come back and put closure strips on the underside here. We are gonna have a 2-inch overhang, and anything longer than that's gonna get zipped right off. This is from like a putty glue. It's called tacky tape, is what we use. He's putting that the whole length of the way where he overlaps the metal to seal it vertically. I'm gonna glue that roof together. It's real like gummy. It's like a long strip of chewing gum texture of this sticky putty tape. Now last night we did end where we have all of the insulation in here, and we ended on this last piece as we lost daylight, and we measured it out, but it wasn't quite fitting, so we wanted to come back in the daylight, re-measure, and see if we need to recut the piece that's gonna fit up into there, because it just wasn't quite fitting right. I left and took Evie home because it was after dark and didn't feel quite comfortable leaving her out sitting outside when we know that there are things that like to run around through the property after dark. And so Josh came and started cutting holes for the lights that are going to go in here, but it was a really loud machine, a little louder than he had expected. So we decided to call it a night to spare our not so nearby neighbors from the noise after dark. So we're gonna keep working on that today probably. He also has a hole right here, and this is going to be a crawl space that will end up having a trap door here. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna put a electric fan, like an exhaust fan, in the siding out there so that we can turn it on and off, and it will help ventilate the attic crawl space. But really, this is going to be Josh's shop eventually, and so this would be really cool if he's dealing with something where he needs to have it aired out in here while he's working, anything with any kind of fumes or anything like that. He can open a window, turn on the exhaust fan, and then draft the airflow out, up and out, if he's working with anything that needs to be in an open, airy type of space. That's something that he can use in his shop. So that was kind of neat, him thinking ahead there. You ready for your another piece? Shortly. So let me go get my gloves so I can help him grab another piece. We have been keep.
Get this tacky tape on.
Okay, he's gonna put the tacky tape on first. We have been keeping our OSB covered. This is gonna be the OSB that's gonna go on the walls on the inside, because even though it didn't rain last night, with this higher humidity that we've been having, it has been kind of dewy when we come out in the morning, and we don't want any moisture to get on our OSB because OSB will just wick it up and absorb it. It's not great for it. So it's a pretty bird. Turkey vultures are waking up. Hey, that's a pretty good throw. Got it right there. See, this is that tacky tape. Real sticky stuff. Oh, I almost caught it. I think it was the thrower, not the catcher there. Error. Yeah, so it's this real sticky, gummy stuff. What's it called? Butyl tape. Tacky tape is just the brand. Yeah, butyl tape. That's cool. Cool, cool. Gross stuff. So that seals the moisture from getting in vertically, or I guess, yeah.
There's I'm gonna be.
About as ready as he's gonna be.
We're not doing too bad though. It's a beautiful morning for this.
It's a beautiful morning.
Knock it out and be done.
Thankfully, there's no wind. I need some wood to knock on.
We're a third of the way there, buddy.
Cool.
That was 4 pieces or 3?
That was 3 pieces.
We're a fourth of the way there.
Oh.
The next piece might be a little harder because we're getting a little bit further out.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 inches further.
Ready?
Yep.
Got it?
Yep.
Man, just look at this beautiful morning. That little wasp asleep on the flower. I'm enjoying our last week of summer, as fall is going to be this Saturday, but kind of excited about the break in the hot weather. We got a taste of it last weekend and it was kind of nice. And this year I'm not as attached to my garden because I knew we were going to be moving, and so it's not as heartbreaking as it usually is when it gets cold outside and I lose my garden. Been a little detached from my garden this year. My sister just called and said that she's heading down our street, so they're almost here. So we're gonna try to finish knocking out this, and then we are gonna go and take a fun day to a nearby natural spring pool called Balmorhea, and we're gonna go swimming today. That is once we finish the roof. So we got a head start on them. They got to sleep in a little bit, go grab breakfast, and now they're gonna come and hang out while we get this finished up. So my sister Lauren and her husband Rick, they just left. They were hanging out here with us for about an hour. We got to show them the place and what we're working on, and we are almost done with the roof. Josh is just putting on some lap screws, but let's get a little bit of a closer look at what that looks like. My sister was helping me pass up the metal sheets to him, the last couple sheets. And we are gonna wrap this up, and then we're gonna go have lunch with Lauren and Rick, and then we're gonna head up to go swimming for the afternoon. It's gonna be a nice, good, relaxing day. We've been working so hard here at the property to get things going, and it'll be a good afternoon in some sunshine. Once Josh finishes up with the lap screws, we are going to take a string line and measure off 2 inches off the overhang, and then we're going to snap the string line with chalk. That way Josh knows where to cut it so that it's cut straight across so we don't have too much overhang on this metal. All right guys, Josh is going to go show you guys the roof. It's recording.
Oh.
You did a great job. Are you showing him the view? Thank you.
Here. No. I get it.
You got it?
You go down.
Okay. Got it. He did it. You want me to hold the ladder? He's got it. He's got it.
Okay, I need a Sharpie.
A Sharpie?
Where was I using it last? Sony's electrical. You only have to go as high as you got. Be comfortable. One more? Good?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes.
One, two, three. There. Drop it and get down.
Now Josh is zipping off the excess based on the chalk line that we just snapped. What do you need?
I'm going the wrong direction.
Oh, he's gonna start on the other side.
No matter where I go, it's not right.
Hey, we got that roof done in record time. Took about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. All right, everybody, it is now the next day and it has been the most wonderful weekend. so wonderful. We had my sister and her husband Rick here in the area. They live about 7 hours away, so I don't get to see them very often, and when we do, we love to just catch up and spend a lot of great quality time together. Yesterday we did go up to Balmorhea, which is a nearby natural spring-fed swimming pool, and we swam for hours and had a great time using goggles and watching turtles and fish swim around us in the pool, and it was just so great. On our way back, we did stop and explore some picnic areas, looking at native vegetation and wildlife and identifying species and different plants and animals that we could see. And it was so cool to drive back seeing wild turkeys and pronghorns, and we did see a lot of aoudads with their babies and rabbits, and it was just so cool when you get a bunch of people who love plant and animal ID together, and it's just like one big scavenger hunt. And then this morning we got up and we got to do more work on the shop together with Lauren and Rick's help, and we got to knock out a couple of milestones that we were hoping to reach this weekend. Lauren also helped me to plant some native plants out here to enjoy that she actually brought with her. So my camera died, but I did want to show you guys. My sister brought some native Texas plants here with her from where she works, and we did plant some varieties of native plants, and we're actually mulching them with this mesquite mulch that we created here on our property, and we harvested this rock from around the property as well. This morning we drove around the property in the ATV and collected rocks so that we can border this, and we did leave an opening here as we watched the flow of water so that water can collect in here and then water these plants. We also did some weeding along this game trail, which we actually really like because it's a nice meandering path. Which brings us to the other plant that my sister Lauren brought for us to plant, which is a native cenizo, and it's creates these beautiful purple flowers, and it's a type of sage. And again, we used the mesquite mulch and lined it with rocks that were collected around the property as well. We do plan on weeding this whole area. Most of the plants in this area are amaranth and tumbleweeds, so we will be pulling out all of the Russian thistle and the amaranth and trying to plant in native grasses to replace and keep all of the grasses we can find, like this one. Now let me show you guys what we did in the shop this weekend. We are also going to line this path with mulch, and let's go take a look. So here in the shop that we're building, the roof is completed as far as getting the insulation and plywood in. We also have the lights are in. We still need to put in the ceiling fan, but we are planning on waiting until we paint to put in the ceiling fan. That way we don't get paint on it. In the bathroom, we also have the ceiling in, and we do have one light in, and we are going to have to go back and get one more light. We had a 6-inch light, but I think we're going to downsize to a 4-inch in the shower. We didn't think we needed one that was that big, but let there be light. What's really cool about these lights is they're super low profile, really thin. You can actually set different settings to have warm light or bright light. And we really liked that ability to customize. And then let's try these out over here. There it is. Still learning which switch it is. There we go. So we'll have the 4 lights in this room, and then the ceiling fan will also have a light, so we could either turn on the 4 lights or turn on the ceiling fan light to see what kind of light needs we have. It does look a little cluttered, and we'll be in the walls, so that'll free up that space. And we're going to be getting out our sheetrock lift, as we'll no longer be needing that since the plywood is up on the ceiling. And we will be using the OSB here to create a trap door to get into our attic space. And then Josh is planning on building a door custom for this bathroom. opens at the bottom and opens at the top independently. That way we can close the bottom to keep our dog from going in and out. There will actually be a cat door because we'll have our litter box in here. And then we can open the top so that the air conditioning can circulate through. The last thing that we did on the shop this weekend is I did finish going one foam length high all the way around this building. I worked on this morning, and we go all the way around. And what this means is we did screw in foam everywhere where we have the electrical boxes so that we know we're not going to puncture anything like water lines or electric, so we can start insulating the inside. Now we're setting up some yard games, and my sister and Rick are gonna come over and we're gonna go just have a good old time and really enjoy companionship and hanging out with each other for one more evening, as they're gonna start driving back home tomorrow. So now I'm gonna head over and start unloading our yard games. We've got cornhole, we've got croquet, whatever we end up doing tonight, it is gonna be a blast. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can stay up to date with everything going on here at Reach and Reverie.